Greetings ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Adrian here, welcome back to the channel. This is the final MMO news drop weekend for July 2019 and there's some exciting stuff in here, so let's get straight to it, beginning with Star Wars The Old Republic. BioWare has announced the first round of PDS testing for its upcoming Onslaught expansion, which will be arriving in September. The first round of testing will be targeting something specific, and in this round, it's all about the changes to a few classes like the Sorcerer, Assassin, Marauder, and Juggernaut. These tests will include the new tactical items, amplifiers, a bunch of new abilities, and the new Onslaught set bonuses as well. Don't expect to be diving into any expansion level content or quests, not this round anyway. Besides that, SWTOR will be bringing back rewards for those who participate in the PDS testing in the lead up to the expansion launch, and for all the details, check the link in the pinned comment below. Now for some exciting stuff for all the commanders of TERA, Guild Wars 2 will be revealing more about the future of the game with regard to the next Living World season in a month from now. ArenaNet will be at the Moore Theater in Seattle, Washington to host a 45-minute presentation, which everyone can watch live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook beginning 9 AM on August 30th. As for what we do know about it so far, not a whole lot except we're getting a look at an all-new chapter in Guild Wars 2's Living World story. At the moment, players are looking at the new logo design of the Living World and trying to come up with theories about what that might lead to. Who knows? And if you have a hunch, share it with us in the comments down below. Are we building up to Cantha? Where and what would you like to see next in Guild Wars 2? Additionally, for GW2, July 30th will see the return of the Festival of the Four Winds and the introduction of legendary upgrades, which means legendary runes and sigils for your equipment. The latter will begin with a community-wide event, and once the goal is hit, legendary upgrades will become available. Folks, Sandbox MMORPG Legends of ARIA will be launching on Steam come the 6th of August. If it's your first time hearing of ARIA, it's an MMO that's inspired by classics like Ultima Online, RuneScape, and others to provide a living, breathing world that's defined and shaped by its player community. The early access Steam launch includes tons of updates like a brand new fresh start server where everyone begins on equal footing. There's new weapon and armor enchanting systems, plus a ton of quality of life stuff. Developer Citadel Studios has said that there will be a mad rush for housing plots on the new Steam server, so get prepared for that. I covered my experience with the early access launch late last year in a video that you can watch in the card above or in the links below, so check that out to get an idea of what to expect in this Sandbox MMORPG, from the community interactions right down to the gameplay itself. The Steam launch should also remove most region blocks for players that were not seeing it in their Steam store before. Moving on now, and some rather interesting news coming out of Korea for Bluehole's action combat MMORPG TERA. Multiple Korean game sites are reporting that publishers Kakao Games are going to be launching a brand new MMORPG based on the original world concept of TERA, called TERA Classic, next month. TERA Classic will feature a brand new story and with new characters, and it ties into the original TERA, but has little to do with any other TERA IP or games out there like TERA M and TERA Mobile, which actually is the same thing. It's unclear if this is the same game as TERA Origin, the prequel that was announced earlier in the year, but there is one thing you TERA fans should know about Classic: it is 100% a mobile MMORPG. As for TERA PC and console, by NMS Entertainment, they've released the Skywatch Antiquities update this past week, and it sounds pretty inviting for any new players out there. For starters, the update has streamlined the leveling experience all the way to level 65. That means improved leveling speeds, tighter quest hub crawls, and more content diversity. The update also adds more dungeon options, including the introduction of a solo mode for quest and story activities, plus a new 3-player mode too. This one's pretty cool. Old School RuneScape has just tied up a 17-year-old quest chain this week with the new Song of the Elves quest finale. The Elf quest series began in 2002 with Plague City, a novice-level quest, which marked the beginning of RuneScape's first ever storyline. Here we are, 17 years later, and with the Song of the Elves, players will team up with the characters from across the RuneScape series to put an end to the evil schemes of Lord Earworth and King Lothus to bring peace to the Evergreen Lands. Couple of things you should note if you want to jump in. The latest Song of the Elves quest is only available to members, which means paying players, and there are requirements in place, like the need to have completed all the quests in the Elven storyline prior, the Making of History quest, and have level 70 across the board for a host of skills. Onward to AION we go, and the European version of AION by Gameforge has released version 7.0 this week, featuring a new region, new PvE instance, and a second specialization for the Bard. The new region is called Dumaha, containing a ton of backstory and lore, and players will find different types of alt procedures here to tackle. The new PvE instance is called the Stella Development Laboratory, where players will need to get rid of the invading criminals and keep things intact. For Bards, you will now have access to the Painter specialization, which fends off opponents with paint rings that, you guessed it, fires paint at the enemy. That aside, expect to see new features as well, like additional transformations, daily and weekly lugbug missions, and much more. Now, a couple of news bits about Black Desert Online. Up first, the PlayStation 4 beta date has been announced, and it's taking place on the 9th of August, ahead of its launch on the 22nd. The beta will be 2 days long in total, and you do not need a PlayStation Plus subscription to access it. All beta participants will receive a Skyhawk pet at launch, which loots items for you, increases knowledge gain chance, and finds rare monsters. So if you can, you might as well play the beta to get the free pet, which would otherwise be a cash shop exclusive purchase when the game launches. Secondly, for BDO, the SHAI class will be receiving its talent update on the 31st of July, which grants her access to new skills and powers. Players will need to complete a quest chain at level 56 to obtain the Soul item, which teaches the art of music. The new skills are a good mix of CCs and buffs, so make sure to grab the quest if you meet the level requirements. And last but not least, Square Enix will be hosting the 53rd installment of the Letter from the Producer Live, where Yoshi P and his team will be answering all questions about the Shadowbringers expansion. The live stream will take place on August 7th, and if you have any questions, which I suspect most of you will have, you can post it on a designated forum thread. Hopefully they will do more than just answer questions, and perhaps even tease more about what's coming next to the game, or dive deeper into the lore and story that we've just experienced in Shadowbringers. And that's all I've got, folks. July has been a fantastic month for MMORPG content drops and news, and hopefully you folks will stick around as we tackle everything that comes our way next month. Until then, happy gaming, and I'll catch you in the next news drop in August. Hit the like button for the love of MMOs, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and get notified on all my latest uploads. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Hey folks, thanks so much for watching that video. If you guys want to watch more, you can click the subscribe button at the bottom there, or somewhere over here. And don't forget to hit that bell to get notified on all my latest videos. So I'll see you guys at the next vid. Take care.